Hi, welcome to another Binders Keepers. This week, as you can tell, is Space Week, and I thought I would use this opportunity to show you how to take a special interest like space and use resources from Twinkl to make your own language arts or literacy curriculum rather, that is gently paced and that is kind of a rhythm that you could follow that isn't too intense and has reasonable expectations of children, especially if they're reluctant readers and writers. So this is just the rhythm that I would repeat each day if I was doing this. I'd start off Monday with create and craft, so an opportunity to follow instructions, read if they want to, or listen, find motor skills, and just have a bit of fun with the topic that they're interested in. The next day would be read and respond. So they either listen to you read aloud some non-fiction about space and respond either by drawing or writing. If you follow Charlotte Mason philosophy at all, that would be narrating. So they would narrate back to you, or they could read it themselves if they're able. The next one, discuss and dictate. So this is where you would have a prompt given and then they can dictate their ideas to you and you can model writing down the sentence structure. So they're not necessarily doing the writing, you are, but you're taking their ideas and talking through how you would do that. The next one, watch and write. So you're going to model again, thinking, how am I going to do this? Saying it out loud, writing it, maybe making mistakes and changing it, and then they have a go themselves. So you kind of scaffolding the learning here. So this, they don't do any writing, and then they do a little bit of writing here. And then ending the week with dream and draw, which is just giving a little bit of creativity and having a kind of something to draw the week to a close in a more relaxing way. So they'd read a poem and then they can paint or draw in response to that, maybe while listening to the music linked to the topic. And while you're doing this, so this could maybe just be 15 minutes a day, then you could have read alouds that go along with that. If you have a morning basket, you could have some of these books in a morning basket and read aloud. Anyway, let me show you what it looks like inside. So let me show you some of the resources. I've done 4 weeks worth so that I can just, when I use this, I can just open it up and go, and I'm all set for the month. It took me, I don't know, a couple of hours on and off while I was hanging out with my kids as well. So there's the crafts, and then the next day would be a read aloud or getting your children to read and then respond. So I've just put a border page here to spark a bit of interest for them to add some kind of narration or to tell you some things, and you can write it down as well. And some fact files there. You can use, there are so many, literally thousands of reading comprehensions and fact files and articles on Twinkl, so you can find anything that suits your kids' interests. Then we have these Is It Writing sheets, which I've added in. So they're great. What are the astronauts saying as the rocket is being launched? You can talk about it with your kids. You could even act it out, and then you write in and model some of that writing as well. So I've got a few of these in here, so one for each week. You can get these for all sorts of different topics as well. And there's an alien one. And then once you've had a bit of practice doing that, the next day is sentence building. So there we go. This is the one that you would model to your child, and then they would have a go doing it themselves if they were ready for that. And just really simple. There's not lots of text. There's not lots of space to fill in. It's very straightforward, so that if your kid is a little bit intimidated by lots of writing and the idea of having to fill up a whole space, they don't have to worry about it here. But you do have extra space, obviously, on the back if they do want to write more. And then I found a pack of these of lots of lovely poems. So this one's about the moon. And then again, a blank page for the child to draw a response, maybe as you're reading it to them, or maybe if they want to, they could do their own poem as a response as well. If you love to do child-led learning, but you also enjoy having that bit of structure to fall back on, then this type of activity is really great, because you don't have to exactly follow one day after the other. If you miss a few days, it doesn't matter. If you spend a long time on one section, it doesn't matter. And also you can obviously guide it to whatever interests your child, right down to the specific types of text that you're including. If you didn't want to do crafts, you could add a game in there, all sorts of things. And it's a nice, gentle rhythm. There's nothing that's too intimidating. There's nothing that takes too long. It's open and go, but it's also open-ended so that you can spend as much time on things as you want and go off on rabbit trails if you want to as well. So there we go, a gentle curriculum for reading and writing, all about space.